So students, we are now in the new lecture. Last time, that means in the last lecture, we have seen about random variable and its probability distribution. So now we want to focus on the new topic, that means a probability distribution for two variables. That means probability distribution for two random variables. So in the last lecture we have focused on a single random variable capital X, but in some cases there are chances during the random experiment it may appear two random variables, say capital X and capital Y. So we want to focus now on the probability distribution of the two types of random variables, and then we will derive the relationship between the two variables. Okay, so instead of a single random variable, here we want to study about two random variable, and that's why the study we will call as two-dimensional. This is known as two-dimensional random variables. Okay, so again here we want to focus this on the two types, a discrete random variable and continuous random variable. So in the first case we will assume that both X and Y are discrete random variables, and you already knows what is a discrete random variable. Discrete random variable means which is associated with the values 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5, etc. And continuous random variable means those which are assumed the values from given interval. Okay, so here we want to find out the probability of probability distribution based on the two random variables. So the probability in this case we will denote by probability at x equal to x, comma y equal to y. That means both the variables we want to combine, and this probability we will denote as f of x comma y, because in the last lecture we have defined the probability mass function as f of x. Okay, and the probability density function also we have denoted by f of x, but here are two random variables, so we are denoting this as f of x comma y. That is it based upon capital X and capital Y for certain values small x and small y. So this is known as joint probability distribution. Joint probability distribution, because we are combining here two different variables, or as in the last case we can also define this as joint probability mass function. Okay, and we will have this kind of probabilities for all different values of x and y, because in the last lecture we have considered one example of tossing 2 points and then we have derived their probabilities. This was we were calling as a probability distribution based on single variable, but here we have to obtain the probability distribution based on two discrete random variables, and that's why we can find out all possible probabilities for different values of x and y. And here this is the probability such that the summation of all possible probabilities, that means whatever the probabilities we get from the distribution, is always equal to 1. See, likewise here we have seen that sigma fx equal to 1 for all x. So here again the total probability is always equal to 1. So for joint probability distribution we have this kind of probability. Now how to tabular these values of the probability, joint probability mass function. So we can tabulate them in this way. X and y. We will have in this column the values of x. Say suppose x1, x2, x3. Here are the values of say y1, y2, y3 or whatever it is. Okay. So now the probability corresponding for corresponding to x1 and y1 we will denote as f of x1 y1, this as f of x2 y2, this as f of x3 y3, this as f of x1 because x is written first. So f of x2 y2, sorry here x2 y1, x3 y1, x2 y2. This is f of x3 y2. Okay, y2 is fixed in this row. Here f of x1 y3, f of x2 y3, f of x3 y3. Okay, so all the probabilities corresponding to two different variables capital X and capital Y, we can tabularize this into this form. Now we want to discuss on marginal probability function. Marginal probability function on X. So this is very much important on X because in a similar way we want to also discuss about marginal probability function on Y. So this is nothing but marginal probability. Sometimes question may come to find out marginal probability function on X. That means here we will be given some value of that is Y will vary. Y can have any value. That is, we will consider every possible values of Y and we will keep x1 as fixed. And this we will call as probability of capital X equal to X. And this is denoted as f1x. We will denote this as f1x. And this is nothing but sigma. Sigma of all probabilities of x, y. That means for this fixed value of x, here y will vary. So we will run this sigma over y only. That means f of x y1, f of x y2, f of x y3, f of x y4, whatever is given to us. So, see, suppose here we want to find out f of f1 x1. So f1 x1 means here x1 is fixed now. X1 is fixed now, and that's why we will call this as marginal probability function on X. So f1 x1 will be this one. See here sigma for all y, f of x1 comma y. So x1 is fixed. So f of x1 y1 plus f of x1 y2 plus f of x1 y3. So this is known as f1 x1. Are you clear with this? Similarly, we can find out f1 x2 and f1 x3. So f1 x2 will be the summation of these three numbers as per our table. So and f1 x3 is this one. So marginal probabilities are very easy to obtain because in marginal probabilities we will have to keep the given value of x as fixed and then we have to run sigma over y. So this is nothing but the combination of the probabilities, different kind of probabilities, whichever is required in the question. Similarly, we can find out marginal probability function on y. So here, value of y will be fixed. Value of y will be fixed, and that's why we will call this as y equal to small y, and we will denote this as f2y. That means related based on x, we will denote this as f1, and based on y, we will denote this as f2. So this is nothing but sigma f of x comma y. Here y is fixed, x will vary. That means this sigma will run over x. So by using this concept and as discussed earlier, we can find out from this f2y1. F2y1 we can find out here y1 is fixed, so and x will run. So f of x1 y1 plus f of x2 y2 y1 plus f of x3 y1. That means this is nothing but this the summation of these elements. So this will give us f2 y1. Similarly, we can find out here f2 y2 and f3 y3. So you can find out them separately, or else if you have the table, then you can find out the marginal probabilities by directly adding the column elements and row elements, and then we can say the value of the required function. Okay, so this is the concept of marginal probability of x on y and marginal probability function on x and marginal probability function on y. Okay, so now let us see further. We will go to define here conditional probability distribution. Conditional probability distribution. Actually, you must be knowing from the last lectures that we have already defined conditional probability in this way. That is probability of A by B. That means B is happening, then A will happen. That means first B will happen. After happening of B, it allows the happening of A. So this is nothing but the probability of A. Probability of A only. But this depicts that B has happened first. So likewise here also we can find out conditional probability distribution of capital X equal to X given the value of Y equal to Y. So here the value of Y will be given. So corresponding to the value Y equal to Y, we want to find out conditional probability of X. That means here Y is given, likewise here B is given, and we want to find out probability of A. So here we want to find out probability of X given that Y is given. So it is related to X, so we will denote this conditional probability again by F1. So here, as I told you, that the probabilities based on corresponding to X, we will denote by X F1, and the probabilities whatever it is based on Y, we will denote this by F2. So here this is defined as, actually this we were defining as probability of A intersection B divided by probability of B. Okay, are you clear with this? Yes. Okay, so now this is defined as, it is very simple, f of x comma y. F of x comma y means any one value from this table divided by f2y, just like your probability of b, your probability of y, and this is denoted by f2, so it is f2y. So and this is for all x. We can find out for x1 given y will be fixed. So here we can find out conditional probability for x1, for x2, for x3, for all x. And here provided f2y is not equal to 0, because if it is equal to 0, then it becomes meaningless. Okay, so this is the case. Now again here we will see, if in this case also we were telling that if probability of A by B itself becomes probability of A, both are same thing, then we say that A and B are independent events. Or else we can say that if A intersection B equal to PA into PB, we were telling that this A and B are independent events. So same likewise here, if f of f1 x by y, that is conditional probability itself equals to f1 x, then we say that the two random variables, that means they are independent. X and y are independent. Or we can also say from this that if f of xy, this f of xy equal to this is f1x into f2y, both are same. That means, suppose for example, here for this f1x1 y1, if this equals to f1x1 into f2y1, f1x1 into f2y1, we say that these are independent. And if it is happening for all, f2 f of x2 y1 equal to f1 x2 into f2 y1. So if this is happening, we say that capital X and capital Y are independent. So here we can find out conditional probability of x given y by using this one. Similarly, we can find out conditional probability of y equal to y given x equal to x. So here x will be given to us. That means we can find out here conditional probability of y we want to find out. So we will denote this as y. Conditional probability of y given x, that means we will use this symbol, and this is defined as f of xy divided by probability of x, and this probability of x we are denoting by f1x. So if this is so we can find out conditional probability of y given x by using this one. Similarly, here also we can say that if f of 2 y by x equal to f of 2y, we say that capital X and y are independent, like this, as I discussed over here. Or f of xy equal to f1x into f2y. Have you understood? So conditional probability is also a very simple case to understand. Now, let us see some of the examples. From the examples you will realize what is this exactly. So here, let the discrete random variables, let the discrete random variables x and y, capital X and capital Y, have the joint probability distribution, have the joint probability distribution is, say, here table will be given to you, capital X, Y. So here X has the values 0, 1, 2, and Y has the values given 1 and 2, and the total probability 0.1, here it is the 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.2, 0.1 and 0. So you can see this is the table given to us. Then the question is that, first question is, we will discuss one by one, all the questions one by one. Find out probability of for capital X plus Y greater than 2. But before finding this, just I would like to focus on that. As I told you, when I have defined joint probability mass function for discrete function, discrete random variables, then I told you that the summation of all the probabilities is always equal to 1. So here the summation of all these probabilities is always equal to 1, and you can verify 0.1 plus 0.4, 0.5 plus 0.4 means 0.9, and here 0.1 is that is 1. So probability is always equal to 1. Now our question is to find out probability of capital X plus Y greater than 2. So in the solution process you can write down this as that. That means the summation of capital X and capital Y, these values should be greater than 2. So for which here we will start from X, the values of X. So which values should we consider? 0. With 0, 0 and 1 if we consider, it is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. We cannot consider. 0 plus 2, it is 2. We cannot take because it must be greater than 2. Then we go for 1. 1 plus 1, 2. It is you can also not be considered. Here 1 and 2. This is considered. So it is 1 f of 1, 2. Plus, then we have this one. For x equal to 2, 2 and 1. Yes, we can consider f of 2, 1. Plus f of 2, 2. This also we can consider. So, from the table we can have the values f of 1, 2 is 0.2. F of 2, 1 is 0.1. And f of 2, 2 is 0. So this is 0.3. So this is the answer. Okay. Next we want to see probability of x plus y less than 4. So again here the total of x and y should be less than 4. So we can start from 0. F of 0, 1. Yes, we can consider 0 plus 1 is 1. It is less than 4. F of 0, 2. Yes, this is also we can consider. F of 1, 1, this is also we can consider. F of 1, 2, this also we can consider. plus f of 2 comma 1. This also we can consider. Here you must remember that x is written first in the pair x comma y, and then y can be written. So these are f of 2 comma 2 we cannot write because it is 4, and 4 less than 4 is not possible. So we can have these values. F of 01 is 0.1, f of 02 is 0.2, f of 11 is 0.4, f of 12 is 0.2, f of 21 is 0.1. So the total of this will be our required answer. Now the another question C. Find out marginal probability distribution. Marginal probability distribution of capital X and capital Y. That means here we will have to find out. Actually, in examination, only for some value, particular value of capital X or particular value of capital Y may be asked in examination. But here in our question, it is asked to find out marginal probability distribution of capital X and capital Y. That means we have to find out for every values of capital X and for every values of capital Y. Okay. So here this we can do as, first of all, we have the values of X are 0, 1 and 2. So we can find out f1 0, we can find out f2 0, and we can find out not f1 1 and f1 2. So f1 is fixed for capital X. For capital X, f1 is fixed. We want to find out these things. So how can we find out this one, f1 of 0? This we have seen that first of all we should write down the formula. f1x we have written as sigma f of xy for all y. That means x is fixed here. That means the value of x equal to 0 is fixed. X equal to 0 is fixed. Only the value of y will vary. That means we will have to consider both 1 and 2. So this will give us f of 0, 1 plus f of 0, 2. That means it is nothing but 0.1 plus 0.2. It is 0.3. So similarly, f1 1 is fixed. Capital value of x is fixed. Y will vary here. So y is 1 and 2. That means these two values will be there. F of 1 comma 1 plus f of 1 comma 2. This is nothing but 0.4 plus 0.2. So it is 0.6. So here, actually here we have obtained the values of, we are obtaining the values f1 0, f1 1, f1 2 in this way. But you can also find out their values directly from the table. But before of that, you will have to in your answer book, you will have to write down such a